here is a breakdown of some of the activities of the next few days, which politicians and voters need to take note of, especially in the Kogi election, which we might be dwelling on tonight. So the election is slated for the 16th of November 2019. Deadline for party primaries is September 5th, 2019. Commencement of campaigns is the 18th of August 2019. A number of registered voters in Kogi State is over a million, is about 1.6 million as of 2019 elections, with a population of over 3 million. Now, we shall take you to Kogi State, where the people of the state will go to the polls on the 16th of November to elect the governor for the next 4 years. Several political parties will be conducting their primaries to determine, and the incumbent governor, Yaya Bello, will be challenged first for the ticket of the APC, and if he gets it, he will go to the polls in contest for the state's top job. Let's talk to some of the aspirants, both joining me from our Abuja studio, and they are from APC and the PDP. I have joining me now the PDP aspirant and a son to the former governor, Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim, and also is an APC aspirant, Mr. Godwin Amade. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. Let me begin with the PDP aspirant, Mr. Ibrahim. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Mr. Ibrahim, your father was a former governor. And a big question is, why again does the son of a former governor wants to be governor? And you understand a lot of criticisms that have come from the critics of your father when he was in office about how he handled the affairs of state when he was Kogi State governor.
Well, Sean, let me be very concise here. Why I want to run? Because constitutionally, I think I have constitutional mandate to run. I have all the requirements constitutionally that will allow me to run, that is both from the Federal Republic of Nigeria and from my party. So I don't see anything wrong in my wanting to run for a political office in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's of course, everybody understands. But a lot of people in Kogi State, especially those who were not a fan of your father, will say, is it now a family position when you have a father a few years ago and a son coming to be governor? What exactly is it that they want to, don't you have ambition to become something else aside being a governor?
Joe, let me make you understand something. I mean, the fact that my father was governor before now, and now I want to come in, doesn't make it a family position. I mean, if I may emphasize here that my father is not in government. He left government 8 years ago. Now, if after leaving government 8 years ago and I decide as his son I want to run, I don't think there is anything wrong in that. And when people talk about imposition, you can only impose someone on people when you are in position. Now, you must realize that my father isn't the governor now. He left that position like 8 years ago. So if I am coming now to run as my capacity as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and a Kogite, I don't see anything wrong in wanting to go and run for what is rightly, I mean, my fundamental human rights.
I mean, Mr. Ibrahim, you probably heard the criticism against when your father was in office. So in fact, I've heard one of the critics say, God forbid we have another Ibrahim because of some of the things they perceive as some elements of bad governance, allegedly, when your father was in office. Have you heard those kind of criticisms?
Well, Sheung, you cannot have it 100%. But if you're talking about the bad criticisms, what of the good criticisms? What of the goodness? I mean, nobody has said to you that he was able to have 2,000 units of housing units, 4,000 primary schools, the only the only state hospital in Kogi State, the international market, the Meme Bridge. He was able to harmonize salaries. He was the first governor to start paying the minimum wage. He was, paying pensioners. I mean, there's just so much that he has done, but nobody is talking about that. How come just one or a few people are talking about what he has done that isn't right? I mean, it's really baffling to me. Because when you look at it critically, I can categorically tell you that there has been no governor in Kogi State that has performed both in terms of human capital development and infrastructural development like my father has done since the inception of Kogi State.
I mean, you probably heard, well, don't let me make this all about former Governor Ibrahim, but a lot of issues raised on the projects that he started. Some road projects that never were completed, some institutions owned by the state that were moribund when he was in office. Perhaps you have heard of those things. And the question would now be what you are bringing to the table.
Well, Sean, believe it or not, my father left hardly was there any project that was not completed during his tenure. And hardly was there any infrastructural development that was left undone during his time. So what am I bringing to the table? I mean, I'm bringing a better Ibrahim Idris. I'm striving for a better Kogi State. I mean, way back then, he might have been analog. I am digital, and that's where the difference lies. Because I am coming with new ideas, latest ideas to bring to the state so that we can grow in a positive direction.
Mr. Ibrahim, one critical issue will be, well, you've got to be a candidate first and foremost before you can talk about governance or even running for the general election. So there is the delegate elections, the primaries. But a big question will be the caliber of people you will be up against. A former governor, Idris Wada. There are also former governors, sons of former governors that will be in the race also as well. There is a sitting senator whom a lot of people think that he has a lot of popularity, Dino Melaye. Should the party disqualify, because we've seen this kind of situation happen, and favors other people other than yourself, what would you do?
Well, quite honestly, I don't see the party disqualifying our aspirations. I mean, why? For the simple reason that, I mean, like I said earlier, I have all the prerequisites that qualifies me to run for this election, both as a citizen of the Federal Republic and going by the party constitution. I have all the prerequisites that fit there. Now, how are they going to stop me from running? Because my father was a governor before?
All right, we'll take a break, but when we come, before we go, let me quickly show you this. With a reported between the governor of Edo State and his predecessor and APC National Chairman, Mr. Adams Oshiomhole. The governor visited the APC chairman alongside some Edo party leaders and members of the cabinet for weeks now. Take a look at hear what they said. We do hope that the rift is now over. But we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll still discuss the Kogi governorship election tussle and a jostle for the state top job. It takes our attention on the program. We'll be talking also to an APC aspirant when we return from this break, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Kogi governorship election tussle and the jostle for the state top job is taking our attention tonight. I've been speaking with an aspirant of the PDP, Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim of the PDP, and also Mr. Godwin Amade of the APC. Let's quickly speak with Mr. Amade now. Thank you so much, Mr. Amade, for joining us on the program. It's audacious, isn't it, that you want to be you won the ticket of the APC. How do you think that might be possible, considering that the governor is also in the running for that ticket?
Well, thank you and good evening, Sheung Nigerians. Good evening for listening to this program. Well, ab initio, I came up with the intention to contest for the governorship of Kogi State. And going through what is happening around Kogi right now, it may be pretty difficult to really battle a sitting governor in the same political party. I move around the states in the bid to prepare for the primaries. And the feeler shows, while I wanted to contest initially, there was this loud cry of these salary issues. And a lot of people coming from various quarters, especially from my own ethnic nationality, that a non-Igala cannot be governor. And of course, those crying to be governor were of no level better than myself. And I felt that, okay, I'll give it a shot. Now, while going around, we discover a lot of things going on. In APC, it may not be easy to wrestle power from the sitting governor because he puts in all the structures, is the founder of the party, and every executive I have moved around to see, it's like they were not too clear. They were saying that, well, the governor have done this, the governor have done this. Can't you wait for another time so that we'll not be fighting and creating
so, Mr. Amade,
rancor?
in essence, have you stepped down? So, Mr. Amade, in essence, are you saying that you have stepped down for the governor? Is that what you're saying?
Of course, the truth of the matter is that there's a serious and intensive discussion going on. I will step down because the 37 of us, we have been discussing all this while, and we are not seeing a clear route to winning the primaries.
Mr. Amade, have you heard, sorry if I may quickly butt in, have you heard about the criticism against your party, against the present administration in Kogi State? The slogan in the mouth of a lot of aspirants in Kogi State, in the PDP, is that they want to get rid of bad governance in Kogi State. And they are alleging that there are several months of unpaid salaries to workers in the state, and they want to get rid of that.
You see, the only campaign points and reasons for all of them is the issue of salary. And in recent time, about 2 weeks ago, the man paid all the backlog of salary, which of course was part of the reason why some of us wanted to contest. As it stands now, no salary is being owed in Kogi State government. The only issue is the outstanding emolument of past political office holder, those that serve under Idris Wada. Their emolument is still standing. And again, some pensioners, they are still rolling their salary. So on the long run, if this salary is settled, what will you use as a campaign point?
Mr. Amade, do you think, in your mind of mind, you're a politician, do you think Mr. Yaya Bello, if he does get a ticket of the APC, although some members of your party don't think that he can because they said they will fight to get a ticket of him, if he does get the ticket, do you think he can win in this general election come November 16 in Kogi State?
Let me tell you very clearly. The only person that has capacity to defeat Bello is supposed to be me in APC. But right now, as it stands, to even defeat Bello is pretty difficult because it's an exclusive election, a delegate election, a collegial election. All the structures are in Bello custody. How can you defeat him? You see, I have been in politics dating from 99. I have been in PDP for 16 years. Until 2015, I left PDP. Now, with my experience over the time, you cannot defeat him. Those claiming to defeat him, they even lost election in their polling unit in the
But, I mean, in a general election, I was asking, Mr. Amade, in a general election, for example, the man seated beside you, Senator Dino Melaye, former Governor Idris Wada, Do you think this person, that if he's up against this person, he can defeat them in a general election with what is going in the political atmosphere of Kogi State?
Sheung, if they will defeat this man, where were they when we run election in the last one? 25 over 25 House of Assembly, 7 over 9 House of Reps, and 2.5 over 3 Senate election. So I don't know the magic they want to do now, that they lost election everywhere, and they want to say suddenly overnight they can defeat the same man. These are issues. And the same APC, the structure is in his custody. If this man picks the ticket as we are seeing, definitely how can you defeat him?
All right.
Let us not tickle ourselves.
All right, just pause for a moment.
Let us not drop sickness and treat medicine.
All right, pause for a moment. Let me give another opportunity to Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim. With what is going on right now, members of the APC will tell you that APC has done well. That's what they're saying in the APC. And so Yaya Bello deserves another term. Are you up against a very, very tough contest? Should you get a ticket and you'll be up against, for example, a Yaya Bello at the polls?
Sure, let me be very honest with you. If it's going to be a one-man, one vote, if you're going to keep out thuggery, if you're going to stop the use of suspicious men in uniforms that snatch ballot boxes and other things, Yahya Bello wouldn't be a thing to even think about. Because quite honestly, I can rightly tell you that before 12 o'clock, the whole election is over. But guess what? Because they got 25 over 25, has anyone ever asked himself critically, how did that happen? Well, if nobody has, I will tell you how it happened. It happened by thuggery, it happened by ballot box snatching, and a lot of other malpractices which already are in court. So it's not something I would want to go further into. But if we're going to do a one-man, one-vote, free, fair elections, I can tell you that Yahya Bello doesn't stand a chance in winning a second.
Just in 20 seconds, Mr. Ibrahim, do you stand a chance in getting the ticket of your party? Are you the best candidate? Do you think you are that man that can fly the flag of the PDP and can be victorious in 30 seconds or less?
So, yes, I think I'm that man that can fly the flag of the PDP and be victorious. Now, I must say here that I'm not the best out of the lot, but from the tour of the 21 local governments I've gone to, meeting people, the overwhelming support I've been having, and the cry for a change in government, I don't see any reason why, I wouldn't stand a very good chance of not only clinching the party ticket, but also beating Yahya Bello.
All right, let's close the program, and I will give another 30 seconds to Mr. Amade to give his final thought. You heard what Mr. Ibrahim said. Look, if this were a free and fair election, none of your party members, the APC, stand a chance. In 30 seconds, please, your final word.
Cheung, let me tell you why Bello is going to win. I have been in PDP for 16 years. The Eagle Alarm that we came from, I and my brother Ibrahim, we came from one ethnic nationality, and for the past 22 years we have been ruling. We have never seen light. 92% of the entire enclave lack electricity. Bello gave us light. The road leading to the traditional headquarters of Igala, Bello gave us. The Igala Unity House, Bello gave us. A lot of things in our places. Most of us that were rejected, the current senator, Bello resurrected him.
All right, let's leave it at that. I know it's a conversation that will be ongoing.
The rich and the have and the have not.
We must go. I must sincerely thank you, Mr. Godwin Amade of the APC in Kogi State, and Mr. Abubakar Ibrahim. I wish you the very best in the coming days as you jostle for the ticket of your parties. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. Well, that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. Bye-bye.